friends, some of you asked how I made these cherry blossoms here, and I wanted to share. Some of you wanted to see a video on how I made them. So this is them, and they're quite hard and shiny. They're very pretty, and they look kind of like shell or coral, or I don't know, like that, you know, that you made them with something like that. And I made tons and tons, and then I use them for a lot of projects, and I keep them in a little drawer with other embellishments. So I like to make lots of embellishments. I don't like to make them as I go. Usually I like to have a whole pile of them if I find something I really like. So this is what they look like. Sorry, I'm moving too much. Try not to move so much. There we go. I have the camera really close here, and I have this on piece of paper now. So they're very pretty. I use them for a lot of projects, and I'm going to show you guys how I make them. Before I go on showing you how I made them, I'm just going to show you a couple of pieces that I used them for. I have several other ones that they're in for shadow boxes and whatnot, or backward reversed canvases and that. Here's an image I made of a tree. One of them actually fell off. Here's the glue, but this is one piece. This is another one I have in the frame still. Here, the tree with in the canvas, on the canvas. I mean, I made the tree with a stamp, foam stamp, and those are hot glue pieces, embellishments I made with hot glue. And those are the flowers there that I used for this piece, just to make this kind of interesting look. So I just wanted to give you a few little ideas of why it's cool to have, or good to have, a bunch of them, so you can use them when they come to mind in your projects. So I like to go to Michael's and get the cardstock and cream, and that's what I use. So I have one here folded lengthwise in half, and I'm using this punch. This is an EK punch. It's not the smallest. I think this is the one I used for this. It could be actually one smaller that I use. This one here is 1 inch. I think I actually do use a smaller version. We will see. It's been a while since I made them because I had so many on hand. But I just punch them with my punch. And I take the tips to make them more, I cut them just like that. I'm going to try to bring the camera down a bit. I cut them just like this right here, a little indent. You can also use just like wavy scissors, and that's how I get them started. So then I just punch out a ton of these. And that's the beginning parts of making this flower. So this is them all cut, and I just cut them with the scissors here, and I just did the ends. I grabbed a pink passion. You can grab whatever ink you have, and then that's what I use for the color. I also have glycerin and water here, and that's how I wet them. So I use that to wet them and crunch them all up to make them look more realistic and rough looking. And when I'm done all of that, I use this jewelry pendant gel to I paint that on there with a paintbrush to get it to be this hard, stay stiff like that, and I like the look. So if you like that look, then those are the things that I've used to do that. So I'm just going to grab a sponge, which I thought I had some left. I used them all up. I'm going to grab a sponge wedge like this, and I'm going to grab my color from my ink pad, and you can just, I got these all doubled up too, so I did it doubled up. I'll just take them apart. Oh, sorry, camera. I flattened these out, and I put them in this little bowl here, this little Tupperware that I use for my sponging. And now I got to spray them with the glycerin and the water. And that's what I do. It moves the color. And then I just squish them up a bit. Then I just take them and individually crunch them up like this. And individually without, and if a leaf or a petal falls off, I don't mind too much. And then I just crunch them up like this, individually, till they're all done. All the little Latin flowers, some of them I kind of squished together because I was getting impatient, just pulling them apart. This is how they look. You gotta be careful, but they are a little bit stronger with the glycerin in there. So, and if you lose a petal, keep it because it's a good add-on to your for any projects. Petals fall apart off the trees and whatnot. And yeah, so what I do then is kind of get them all in a duct tape roll or whatever, and then I just start drying them in here so they don't blow away. Now this part is pretty much done, and that's how fast it is. Like, I'm just doing drying time basically, you know, is out of here. I'm not cutting anything out of the time of what it's taking to do these except for the drying time. So now I have these done, and then I go to my next part, which would be using the pendant gel. So what I do is I kind of shape them. This one's flowers falling apart. I just kind of shape them a bit how I want them. And as you can see, these ones have the indent from the stylus in them, and that's how I do that, by just pushing in. They're almost all the way dry here, so I could even dry them a little bit more. So I take each flower here and there's a couple petals that are fallen off, and I do those with jewelry gel pendant as well. And then I just shape the flowers to the way I want. And then just pushing them down in the center, opening them up more, make them look the way I want them to look. And they do look messed up and all that kind of stuff, but that's the kind of way I want them to look. Oh, that petal did break. But you need some petals broken anyways, so for some projects you can't have perfect flowers every time. And so I like to keep those. that's just what I'm doing now. It's just basically putting my flower into the shape that I like. And if I didn't get the crumple that I wanted in my petal, I'll just do that now. Holding it down, pinching a bit. This one's just perfect on its own already, almost. Isn't that pretty? And I just do that to all of them. It kind of takes a while for this part, but hey, it's worth it when you get a nice looking flower out of it. And I like to, also like I said, I like to pinch my petals if they don't look weathered enough. And that's how I get this part done here. So now, so this one's missing a petal, but it looks great. Just like that. I'm going to crunch all of these up. It's probably going to take another minute and a half, but I don't want to. Now I have them on just a black cardstock so you guys can see them without terrible reflection from the my table here. And this is them pretty much just without anything on them. They're done now. Without the pendant gel on them. So what I do is I grab some pendant gel, I put a little puddle of it, and I'll move it up here, and I just paint away one side, and then I work on the other side. So I'll work on the first side, and then once it's dry, I'll work on the outer side. So I just paint it with the gel. And that's how I get them all hard and shiny. And then I just do that with all of them. And then I let them dry. And then I flip them over and do the other sides. And as they're drying, I kind of shape them a bit too. If I'm not liking something kind of undone from what I liked or whatever. And that is my little cherry blossoms. So I hope you guys liked that little video on how to make them. And try them out yourself. Like I said, I used this little flower punch. I think I got it from Walmart. Yes, I did. I got it from Walmart. And it is a very useful punch. I make my roses out of this punch as well, and different, like a lot of different little flowers. So this is a very good and useful punch. So if you do like using little flowers and little petals and that kind of thing in your project, I find you will be using this punch quite a bit for little flowers embellishments for your projects. So I hope you guys liked that video. And this is again the Ilene's jewelry pendant gel, which I used to coat them. And give it a try. I I mean, I think any kind of ink will be good that is water, that you can move with water. Distressed ink, I don't know, any of those. And you can do any colors with your inks. And I hope you guys give it a try, and you'll need a stylus. I'm just kind of going over again, and a kind of a brush. This is the Crayola brush. It's a one that I can use for anything, so it's inexpensive brush to use for this technique. And I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget to craft like a duck. Bye.